sometimes in life it's best to go back where it all started.
You are Locked On Bama, your daily podcast on the Alabama Crimson Tide, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey again, everybody. Welcome back into Locked On Bama. Luke Robinson, that's me. Jimmy Stein, that's him. And thank you for making us your first listen every single day. You guys are the tops. Now, some good news here, Jimmy. If you're an Alabama fan, I think it's good news. Kadyn Proctor apparently will be returning to the University of Alabama to play American football. I think this is wonderful news. Now, if you're Iowa, I've seen some Iowa people very, very upset, and I get it. But it's not like he's your punter, so you don't really need him anyway.
Nice. That's good. He's broken up.
I tweeted that, by the way.
He's broken up that, by the way. And, you know, Iowa doesn't produce a lot of five-star in-state talent, famous guys like this, right? I mean, imagine it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like the girl next door is Jennifer Aniston. And she's going to be with you. She's going to date you. And then last minute, she's like, you know what? I think I'm flying to Alabama to be with Brad Pitt. Yeah. And then after being with Brad Pitt for a while, you get the text message. I like things better at home. I'm coming home to you. I'll be there in a minute. And then she gets here and everything seems right with the world. And then she's like, you know what? I like Brad Pitt. Maybe that's kind of what's going on here.
Maybe she thought, you know what? Brad Pitt's kind of weird. You know, he's good looking, but weird. You know, and again, we don't know the whole story.
That's Alabama. I think we nailed it with this analogy. Alabama is good looking and weird.
No, I was saying Iowa was Brad Pitt and weird. I think we not only did we not nail the analogy, we had it wrong completely. Because see, in your scenario, Kadyn Proctor is Jennifer Aniston, right?
No. I'm saying Iowa lives next door to Jennifer Aniston. Iowa lives next door to Jennifer Aniston, and but Alabama's you said Brad
this all
Pitt.
Completely wrong, I think.
Well, no doubt, because it's just terrible. First of all, it shows how I'm really into the pop culture and e-news, but I'm going with Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston, who haven't been together in like 15 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're not really into it. You're still watching Talk Soup.
She was on Friends, and he was on Thelma and Louise when they were together.
All right, regardless, Kadyn Proctor should be coming back to the University of Alabama Crimson Tide. This is wonderful news if you ask me. It's also a testament to this coaching staff for due diligence. It's a testament to Wilkin Formby, who spent a lot of time over spring break with Kadyn Proctor.
Recruiting coordinator Wilkin Formby.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. I have no problem saying this, and I mean this with all sincerity and being a complete Bammer. As an Alabama fan, I am thrilled to death about this. I love it. As a college football fan, I hate it because I just don't like where all of this is. It's hard to understand. There are no rules. There are no guidelines. We keep saying this, and things like this keep happening. And I also have enough wherewithal to think, okay, this particular case, this helped us. It helped Alabama. The next time, it could hurt Alabama. So I'm just saying that while we're all celebrating and we're all poking fun at Iowa a little bit, and you know maybe Kadyn Proctor doesn't like corn or whatever. I'm just saying that next time it could be our butts that get left high and dry. So it's less likely. It is less likely because let's also say this, that it sounds as though Kirk Ferentz has intimated that, hey, he's leaving us and he may be taking some of our NIL money with him. And it's not like Iowa's got the best the greatest amount of money in the coffers. You know what I mean? Right. So Iowa's NIL, I don't know what it is. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert. I'd be willing to bet it's worse off than Alabama's by a long shot. And So
It could be a weird thing, Luke, where they have less NIL money than Alabama, but Proctor was getting more there than here.
No, agreed. But which makes it worse.
That makes it exactly.
Worse for them.
Yeah. Right.
Because here's the other thing. If they had no protection, and again, this is all just us talking out of our backsides right now, but this could be a case where Proctor got a bunch of money to come there, and then he really did have a change of heart. Now, did Alabama up the ante? I don't know. They could have. And before you say, well, that's just dirty. It's not dirty. It's the game. You better play it or you will get beat at it. But is it possible that Proctor was able to keep the money that Iowa had already given him? It's possible. It's certain, because we don't know how these collectives work yet, because here's the thing. Remember this. It can't be pay for play. So it's not like Iowa can say, well, if you don't play for us, you don't get this money, because you can't say that. So what I'm saying, without any guidelines, we have no idea. And Proctor may have double dipped. And again, there's part of me that's like, good for him, because that's the system and everybody's trying to game the system. And part of me is like, this is horrible for the future of college sports. So I'm thrilled to death he will be on our offensive line. I'm scared to death for the sport I love. Is that fair?
Yeah. And I don't like the system either. And while the system is gifting us the exact tackle that we need, because Alabama needed a tackle in the portal, and here's the one. From Alabama, and in the one sense, this is very simple. Alabama needed a tackle out of the portal. This could not have worked out better for Alabama, because not only do you get your high-level tackle out of the portal, it's someone that's very familiar. He knows where all the bathrooms are. He knows where the mess hall is. He has friends on the team. He's going to be comfortable here, or more comfortable even than he was the first time around. So for Alabama, this worked out great. We can rail about the system all we want. We've been railing about the system. This is a good example of why college football is a little broken here. I feel bad for Iowa. On the other hand, it's clear Kadyn Proctor doesn't want to play there. That's twice he's decided not to play there. And this is even after jumping into the swimming pool this time. This time he jumped in the pool and said, you know what, this pool, I don't want to be here, which is what he said before he jumped in the pool the first time around. So there's the second bad analogy in this whole messed up thing. But Proctor's going to be a great player. Look, this is where I'm a little ranty about this, because I've seen too many comments about it. People are way too negative on his performance last season. He was a true freshman that had to play, not a true freshman that was just kicked butt through practice and we couldn't keep him off the field because he's so awesome. No, he was just the best left tackle Alabama had, and he was a true freshman. Did he struggle at times? Yeah, because you know what? He's a true freshman. Some people say, well, he was heavy. So was J.C. Latham. Look, he was heavy on purpose. J.C. Latham has talked about this. He literally gained weight to play last season because Alabama wanted to get big up front, because Alabama was bound and determined to run the football. They wanted to get bigger and move people in the run game. Latham gained up to 365 last fall, but he did that for Alabama. As soon as the season was over and it was time to now it's time to prepare for the NFL, what do you started losing weight on purpose? Latham in just 6 weeks got down to 342, which he was in Indianapolis, and I think is going to weigh in even a pound or two smaller today at pro day. So look, Proctor's weight was a product of what Alabama wanted it to be. Secondly, his struggles were related to being a true freshman, which is, of course, logical. He's going to be fine. Is he going to be the best tackle in the country this fall? No. Might he be the best tackle in college football in 2025? Maybe. He has that kind of potential. I think this is a portal home run. If you give these exact same Kadyn Proctor story and say he played his freshman year at Texas, we'd be dancing in the streets right now.
Oh, there's no question. Do you think he shows up in Tuscaloosa and like he drives around campus and goes, gosh, I remember when I was here, when I was a freshman, and boy, that building sure has changed, or, sort of like I do when I go back to Alabama. And here's the other thing that you mentioned.
He's literally still a freshman. He's literally still a freshman. He feels like a
That's so
junior.
true.
Feels like a junior. He's a true freshman right now.
You know, you said something else that's so true, that you said he's rejected Iowa twice now. And it reminds me, I do have a relative that has been, he or she has been married 5 times, I think, and twice to the same person. So been married 5 times, but only 3 people, because 2 of them she married twice, or he. And I was like, that is like total rejection. Like, I hate you so much, I want to divorce you twice. And that's kind of what Kadyn Proctor's done here.
I've divorced the same couple multiple times in my divorcing days in the law office. I did it multiple times. I don't even know how many times it was. It was so many times. Probably off the top of my head, 5 times, probably.
Hey, when we come back,
but Proctor and Iowa makes it 6.
When we come back, got some more football stuff to talk about. We got a new sponsor right now. Look, how about Bettor Together? That's Bettor Together. Go to the App Store, download it. I've already done it. If you don't believe me, I'm going to pull it up right here. I'm about to log in, get all my stuff. There it is, Bettor Together. It's a lot of fun. It's the first cooperative daily fantasy application, Bettor Together. You can use ER or OR. OR is going to get you to the app, but ER, it means it's better together for real. It offers a familiar experience for existing DFS players with a social twist. You can play with a friend or a teammate. Provides a sense of camaraderie and enhances the social experience of watching sports. Is your bracket already busted? I mean, it could be. We've already had technically the NCAA start. You're tired of the same old daily fantasy grind where you make a roster, cross your fingers, and hope for the best, or losing on the last leg of your pick'em entry, all that stuff. Introducing Bettor Together, the first cooperative daily fantasy platform where teamwork triumphs talent, and you can play with your friends, not against your friends. Pick more or less on real-time player stats, strategize with your partner to boost your odds, and climb the leaderboard together. So grab a friend and join the social DFS movement. Look, it's so much fun. Download Bettor Together now from the App Store and sign in using promo code Locked On. It's all one word. That's how I'm signing in. For a free $5 entry into an NCAA basketball contest. Remember, code Locked On. This is free $5 for you to play. You can win a bunch because winning alone is fun, but Bettor Together is better together. Download Bettor Together now from the App Store and sign up using promo code Locked On ASAP. And now I got to figure out who I'm supposed to talk about eBay Motors. Boy, I love eBay Motors. I mean, look, passion, drive, and patience. Look, that's what brings got to do the overlay. I'm going to start over. eBay Motors, I promise you. Passion, drive, and patience. What brings home the winning trophy is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up for peak performance, from superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and much, 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 much more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered, man. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time, or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber. You're not burning cash like some jackleg. With all the parts you need and the price you want, it's easy to turn your car into the MVP and bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions do apply. And eBay Motors only, guaranteed to you as customers. Jimmy, yesterday, before we get into more football, I told people, since we were talking about your hair, that I would love to see somebody Photoshop Jimmy with long hair. And we had 2 applicants. I told them I would send them $2. I lied about that part, but I do appreciate their sending us these pictures, and I will put them up now for those who are watching via the YouTube machine. And first of all was my friend Justin Clayton, who put this together. It is fantastic. And one little nuance right there at the end.
Huh? Yeah, you know what it looks like? It looks like we're going to be in the new Spinal Tap movie.
Spinal Tap 2, the transitioning. Okay. But if you look at my friend Justin is an Auburn fan, and if you look at the subtle little Auburn Tiger logo there, he replaced by Alabama A.
I did not see. I saw the photo before you put it up, but
it's very good.
That's classic.
Very good. That's a chef's kiss if there ever was.
Bravo,
and then
well done.
We also got sent this one. It looks like Jimmy is Zach Galifianakis' long lost cousin, Frank Galifianakis.
I'm intrigued by that look, to the point I showed it to my wife as in should we do this? Is this something we should consider?
Well, I like the we. I like the we in here. If I'm doing this, I need your help.
Well, I've been married for so long. There's not a. I don't think I get to make such a radical decision. That is I gotta throw that one up the ladder before I know whether I can go there. And
we're run that one up the chain.
Yeah,
all right. So Jimmy,
we're considering a similar look. So thank you,
speaking of
Eric Blackerby.
Speaking of radical decisions, there was a hot rumor that Caleb Downs may potentially be coming back to Alabama, and maybe it's all just coincidental. But today, Ohio State, the university's website, put out a tweet that shows Caleb Downs and says, "We are so glad that Caleb Downs is a part of our program, and we got him all locked up." So I'm wondering if Caleb Downs used all this to parlay himself into a little bit more money. I could certainly see it from Ohio State. And again, it's the system. The system's broken. Don't hate the player, hate the game. And if that's what went down, it makes sense. But I think the bottom line is also Caleb Downs in returning to Alabama. You made a great point, though, on a friend text chain we're on. That, by the way, if you are on a text chain, a family text chain with anybody, and you have not watched Curb Your Enthusiasm from last Sunday, please, prayer emoji, go watch Curb Your Enthusiasm from last Sunday. It's one of the funniest episodes I've ever seen. But we're on a friend text chain, and Jimmy, somebody mentioned, boy, I'd rather have Caleb Downs back. And you said, never. I love Caleb Downs. You love Caleb Downs. But if the question is, do I want a 5-star tackle or a 5-star safety? Yeah. This is a no-brainer. I don't care how good the 5-star safety is if we think the tackle is going to be good. And I do think Kadyn Proctor is going to be good. Not that it came down to a choice between the two, but if you're saying, hey, should we be upset that we got Kadyn Proctor and not Caleb Downs? No, you should be happy. If you only get one of them,
better player. Downs better player.
Better
I agree with that. Downs a better 100%. Player. But tackle's just too vital. There's a reason that a tackle can be the first pick in the NFL draft, and in many years a safety isn't even taken anywhere in the first round. For
exactly.
That's what I'm referring to when I'm saying I'd take the tackle. Same reason that the NFL draft tackles number 1 and safeties usually going round 2. But I never look. There was a lot of smoke to the Caleb Downs stuff yesterday, but I never came across any information, publicly or otherwise, that led me to believe that was something that was possible. Now, here's if you want to add to the smoke, okay, Caleb Downs, I think, spent spring break with some Alabama guys. So did Kadyn Proctor. And Proctor ended up transferring. Now, how much does one have to do with the other? I don't know. These guys get tight. They're friends for a long time. They're friends. The players are better at this than fans. Players can be friends with players from other teams better than fans can. I never believed Caleb Downs was coming back. But here's the thing, just like Proctor, if you'd asked me a week ago, is Kadyn Proctor coming back? My first answer would have been, I don't think so. He was homesick. That's why he went to Iowa in the first place. So I don't think he's coming back, and he did. So I'm sure Caleb Downs could come back because the rules allow it. I'm sure Caleb enjoyed a lot of his time in Tuscaloosa, and who knows what he's thinking. But I never knew any information that led me to believe it was truthful. But we'll see what happens. I don't think, by the way, Alabama's interested in another safety from the portal.
They've got a good safety.
From what we understand, they're pretty happy with Keon Sabb. They think he's a good player. And as we all know, and we're going to talk about even more in the coming days, if there has been a freshman splash to this point, it's Red Morgan at safety.
Yeah. Well,
not to say that Sab or Morgan's as good as Caleb Downs, but
they're
I'm just
not.
saying I don't think Alabama's running to the portal to sign any safety. They'd certainly take Caleb Downs. So would the Tennessee Titans.
Let me say this, Jimmy. Okay, another way to put this is I think Keon Sabb and Red Morgan are closer to Caleb Downs than whoever would be playing tackle versus Kadyn Proctor.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
And again, we love Caleb Downs. I still love Caleb Downs. I want him to flourish at Ohio State. I'm not mad at him. Go get your bag, baby. But I would wish he was at Alabama. But I'm just saying that this is a no-brainer. I mean, and again, it's not like we're choosing between the two. We're just trying to make sure people don't get upset that we didn't get both. And by the way, every time you say Keon Sabb, it still makes me laugh because you were calling him Keon Saab.
Almost did. And almost
I know.
I'm still not sure.
Well,
hopefully
you should be sure, because
be.
unless he pronounced it very, very oddly, S-A-B-B is Saab all day. S-A-A-B is Saab.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm getting that from.
Well, not only that, another mutual friend of ours texted me and said, why does Jimmy think the Liberty Mutual commercial has a limo in it?
I know. And man, I took some heat for that in my own house. My stepdad was like, where are you getting that limo thing from?
Did you not see the U instead of the O?
I think it's because of that big long car. There's a big long car.
They're rarely even in the car. I mean, they're in the car in some of them. They're not even in the car in all the cars.
And it even gets back to the little kid that's driving the electric car in his yard.
That's his son.
I know.
He's training him to be like him.
But there's another car. I think it's the cars.
I can't, man. Sometimes with you, I mean,
all right. I can't explain that one. I don't know where I get that. I don't know why I'm saying Keon's name wrong. I think it's because with names, I'm actually really good with names, with this huge exception. If I get it wrong the first time, I'm probably never getting it right. So I think that's what happened with
I'm assuming you're pronouncing our basketball coach's name as Nate Otis. All right, I got that.
A lot of people spell it Otis.
A lot of people do spell it Otis. It's so dumb. All right, let me tell everybody about Nissan. This week's March Madness Bracket Highlight is brought to you by our friends at Nissan. Each week, we're picking one team that stands out, a team that's pushed it further than the rest, just like any of the all-new Nissan SUVs. These guys were able to take it to the next level. How about the Yukon Huskies? One of the choices on here is the Auburn Tigers. I'm not reading them. The Yukon Huskies can only be described as an armada. The top-seeded team is as hardcore as it gets out there, so no wonder they've landed the top overall seed in the NCAA tournament. They're one of the favorites to win it all, despite 4 of the 6 Power 6 conference champs standing in their way in the East regions. Look, take the Nissan Rogue, Nissan Pathfinder, or Nissan Armada and go find your next big adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. Couple of little odd and end things here. First of all, Nick Pringle did not make the trip to Washington on the plane with everybody else. That has been confirmed. What is not confirmed is why. He had a very cryptic tweet yesterday that said, "This too shall pass," with a prayer emoji. Again, go watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. And Nick Pringle has been in trouble in the past. So immediately everybody's antenna goes up. I have come to learn that potentially this is more of a sickness-related thing. That is unconfirmed. It is from a good source. It is unconfirmed.
He could be sick of being in trouble.
That's a good point. But if he's not on the squad, I mean, Alabama's chances of look, you hate to say Nick Pringle's not that great of a player. He's fine. He can dunk.
Quite the irony. It's quite the irony in what you're saying.
But we need him desperately.
Yeah,
because we need the body.
He's critical and not awesome at the same time.
Yeah,
he is critical. There's we don't have another Pringle. I mean, he's probably the best we got in terms of mixing it up inside, getting offensive rebounds, and those alley-oop dunks. We can get a couple scores that way, and there's just no one else. There's just when Pringle's out, we go to Who? I mean, who? So he is kind of critical, but at the same time, he's a flawed player, and hopefully he's sick. That's a terrible thing to say. Boy, I hope he's sick. But
I mean,
I believe we do believe that that's likely the case here.
okay, if he is sick and if he does get out there later, here's hoping that we don't necessarily need him to beat Charleston.
If it makes sense, if he's sick and contagious, you're not going to put him on a plane on a 5-hour flight with the rest of the team.
Correct. And that again, all that makes a ton of sense. I'm just saying you're right.
Send him to Birmingham and put him on a commercial flight, and you get that plane full of people sick.
Yeah,
but that's what you do.
So anyway, here's hoping. We'll keep everybody posted on that. I did just talk to somebody who will be at practice in about an hour, and hopefully they will find out something an hour from right now, which is 10:10, knock on wood. Duke Johnson will commit today to the University of Alabama at 4:30. Mm-hmm. We've talked about him ad nauseum, no reason to go into it anymore. It's going to be a big pickup for Alabama, and this is wonderful. NCAA tournament talk otherwise.
I'm not 100% sold. No. I mean, I think he's committing, and I think he's committing today, and I think Alabama's the likely choice. That's my prediction. But we'll see.
But I mean, you feel very good about him committing now.
Very, very good. I do. I feel very good about it. Okay. But we find out today.
Yeah, we'll find out at 4:30, so Central Time. Mm-hmm. NCAA tournament got started. I guess yesterday. Now I want to throw this out there. This is not necessarily directly Alabama related. UAB's coach Andy Kennedy was on a national show yesterday, and I thought it was kind of fun. I mean, first of all, he's from a non-Power 5 school, obviously, and they were interviewing him. They said, "What do you think about NCAA tournament expansion?" He said, "I'm for it," and I immediately rolled my eyes and sighed, like, "Good Lord." And then he said, "But I'm for it, but I'm for doing away with conference tournaments." And all of a sudden, I was like, holy cow, that makes all the sense in the world. I'm going to tell everybody this again. The conference tournaments are fun. I went to Alabama's last year. Their run was magical and fun, and I took my kids, and it was awesome. We had a blast. But it's stupid. It's stupid that you give all these teams a second chance like this to get into the NCAA tournament. It's stupid that teams that have proven themselves all year might get somebody hurt, like Florida, while playing in this tournament that means nothing. So I'm for getting rid of the conference tournaments. It probably will never happen because of the money. But I'm for it. Or I'm for rearranging it where you say, okay, the conference tournaments now are no longer conference tournaments. What they are tournaments for teams that we consider on the bubble to get in the tournament. Here's your opportunity. Like it's like a precursor to the NCAA tournament, something along those lines. But I thought that was a really novel idea because Andy Kennedy said it best. He said, look, it's not, we earned our right because we won the tournament and that's the reward you get. But he didn't say this, but he made mention, we're playing a Temple team that was 15-19. And had they beaten UAB, guess what? They get an opportunity to play for a national championship. And before you say, well, what's the big deal? They'll lose quickly anyway. Well, what if they don't?
But because they're in the tournament when a more deserving team is not. That's what's a big deal.
Correct. That's the big deal.
Winning the regular season is a far bigger achievement to me. That's an achievement. You win the regular season, that's a far bigger achievement than a weekend-long conference tournament where someone can get hot and prove that they were the best team that week. Being the best team that weekend is much different than being the best team over 9 weeks. And
correct.
So I'm going to look totally on that, but I don't think any of it's going away because as usual, and it is with everything else in the world, money dictates it all. And they make a lot of money on these conference tournaments. They're on TV. People watch them, people go, and then they spend money. So I don't think they're going anywhere. And I think the AQ designation that you get for winning the conference tournament is how you get the teams to play hard in what amounts to just a money-making event. So I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't think they should expand the tournament at all, but I'm sure they probably will. Why? More money.
And again, I'm for expanding the tournament if we get rid of I'm fine with expanding the college football playoffs as long as we get rid of conference championship games, which we didn't. And so now it's like the worst of both worlds.
Hey, and it's my fault. It's my fault. I'm saying I don't like it. I'm saying don't expand the tournament. Please don't. But guess who's going to watch if they do? Me.
Yeah.
So
It's definitely our fault.
You know, don't expand the college football playoff. I don't like it. Well, I don't like it, but am I going to watch it? Of course I'm going to watch it. Of course I am. How would I not?
That's so true.
So
That's so true.
it's my fault. It's all of our fault. All of us listening to this, they got us. They got their hooks in us.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's pod. We'll be back tomorrow. Hey, we're about 100 guys or gals or anything from 10,000 followers on YouTube. So please subscribe. We would appreciate that so much. And thank you guys a ton. And until tomorrow, roll tide.
Roll Tide.